we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland and everything you know. Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine. Mike's optimistic, living out the Mackems dream. Bowers keeps it steady, cool and level-headed. Wayne's already moaning, man, I'm shattered, I need my bed. Baby, are you ready to go? Let's get carried away, man, let's steal the show. Midweek Mackems every Wednesday night. Veterans, passion in the red and white.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, to Midweek Mackems. We are joined just by two others tonight, Conrad and Michael Bowers. Wayne has gone to bed early. He's just gone to bed early. So keep quiet.
10 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. Conrad, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm certainly in a better mood than I was on Sunday when I walked around 6 to 10 different pubs and they went, no, we're showing Sunderland and Villa. It's all Liverpool and Everton. I wasn't in the best of moods at that time, but I'm certainly better now anyway.
No, yeah, be thankful.
I can't even say I missed a good game. I can't even say it was the defeat. It was a class game by the sounds of it as well.
It was emotional. It was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Michael Bowers, you were there.
Yes, I was there. And I bet Conrad come 4 o'clock was probably less bothered that he didn't get to watch it, considering we lost in the last minute. So, yes, it was quite a game. I mean, I don't think it was quite as good a game as the scoreline suggested, because it was like our second 2 goals came in a mad 2 minutes. And then obviously the ending, I thought the last 10, 15 minutes was class in terms of spectacle. But yeah, beforehand it wasn't that. Second half in particular wasn't great. But how are you doing, Mike?
I'm all right, same as you guys. Apart from the football and doing my usual preparing for the end of the world, all good, all good. So yeah, I mean, let's obviously get straight into it, and we'll just start with the first half. Very early goals from both teams, which we've not seen for Sunderland for a while. Michael Bowers, you were there. Take us through going 1-0 down at 2 minutes in. Did you think, oh no, wasted trip?
Well, to be fair, actually, the day out was pretty good. Villa Park's one of the. I'd never been to Villa Park before, and it looks like one of those classic traditional stadiums. And actually, it's quite good. Actually, the view was brilliant. You got to see the whole. Obviously, it sounds stupid saying this, but obviously you literally got to see the whole game, because obviously sometimes you go pitch side, and I personally can't stand going pitch side. I absolutely hate it. So it's actually quite nice to actually have it where you could see the game properly. As for when we went 2-0 down, well, yeah, you don't want to know what my emotions were like throughout the whole 90 minutes, but yeah, going 1-0 down within 2 minutes, I was thinking, and bearing in mind, this is not like Burnley, for example. Villa are good. They are very, very good team. And there's a reason they are in the top 5 competing for Champions League. Well, look, I mean, they're going to finish in the Champions League places, let's be honest. Then they've got a European semi-final, and they've got a really, really good manager in Unai Emery. So, I went 1-0 down. I wasn't impressed with the defending for it. I thought it was far too easy. In fact, to be honest, I wasn't impressed with any of the goals we conceded, but that's a me thing. When we're 1-0 down, I was concerned a bit, just wondering how we were going to, where we're going to get over, not going to fall, because that's harsh on this team, but where we're going to get overwhelmed. And when we equalised, I actually thought we responded brilliantly to going 1-0 down, actually, and I felt that when Rigg scored, it was more than deserved. And I thought at times in the first half, I think obviously Mike will have watched it, I believe, so he'll be able to say the same thing. First half, we actually played all right, I thought. I didn't think we were particularly bad. Obviously, we didn't create loads and loads of chances, but I thought we more than matched Aston Villa in terms of territory, in terms of getting forward, in terms of just competing generally in the game. So, yeah, first half, I was pretty impressed. So, in the first half alone, I kind of went from, oh no, to get the F at the fucking to piss off. Again, when we went 2-1 down. Yeah, not impressed with the fact the first 2 Watkins 2 goals were basically free headers in the penalty area in the 6-yard box, which was a bit annoyed us a bit more there, but look, first half we actually competed all right, to be fair.
Rigg's goal.
Quality.
Yeah.
Absolute quality.
Deserved as well after the last 2 games, I should think.
Well, actually, one of my mates, funny enough, who I've done championship content with, who's a Liverpool fan, funny enough, but he does keep an eye on Sunderland a lot, and quite a few of our teams. But basically, he said it was our first English goal scorer this season, which is quite mental. We've gone to game week 32, and that's the first time. Oh, sorry, game week 33, and that's the first time someone English has scored for us. But obviously, of course, nearly every signing we made has been foreign, effectively. So, cheaper market and all that. But no, I'm really delighted for Chris Rigg, and his performances have actually got much better in the last few games. And I think a lot of our fans underestimate how young he still is. 18 years old. He doesn't turn 19 till like mid-June or is it June and July? No, maybe early July.
Third youngest Premier League goal scorer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good.
Is that just for Sunderland, or are you talking Premier League in general?
Premier League.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, in general,
he's got to be our youngest goal scorer in the Premier League, then, has he?
Yeah, it must be ours. Yeah,
I think, yeah.
That's the thing.
But
yeah,
Conrad, your thoughts on the first half and Rigg's goal as well?
Yeah, Rigg's goal was a beauty. Yeah, so I managed to catch that one. So I was watching your stream, I had it on in the pub, like while everyone else was watching a really dull derby where, it's not really a derby if half your family's one and half your family's another. But I'm just going to put that out there. I'm still bitter. Yeah, slack defending on the first one. I thought it just felt a bit like Bauer says, like we didn't concentrate for the first 2 minutes of the first half and the first 2 minutes of the second half, which is very unlike us, to sort of be that sort of slack, really. But in terms of the goal, I actually thought when I've watched it back there, it's very easy to just look at how well he finished it, which he did. But it's underrated how well Diarra does to get past his man. He sort of gets a yard on him, but Maatsen gets back at him and he sort of feints to cross and he sends him down, and that's what gives him the yard just to cross it into Siddiqui, who first time lays it off to Rigg, and he just whips it in that far corner. And when you watch it on the first angle, there's a bit of you that thinks, is the keeper stood a bit over and he's just, like he's done it. And then when you actually watch the other angle of it, you go, wow, that's right in the corner of the, like clipping almost the inside of the post on the way in it. He's really had to place it well past, one of the best goalkeepers in the world on paper, and a World Cup winner, but he's not though, is he? But great finish, and I was really pleased with him. He's definitely deserved it, and after the last few games for us, he's been getting better and better. And I think I was probably guilty of what Michael says, which is I might have judged him too harshly in the past when I consider the fact he's still, only 18, 19, and he's still learning his trade. He's had one full season for us, which was last season. And, even then I think we thought at times, he's not quite as good as he was earlier on. And, there was just...
You've got to remember the cheeky Middlesbrough goal, though.
Yeah, the cheeky Middlesbrough goal is exactly up there. And he had Dan Neil behind him as well, so that doesn't help. Ask Ipswich Town fans at the minute. They're not that keen on him either.
So first half, we go in 2-1. Let's get a couple of the comments before we move on, so we're not excluding people. Is there a possibility that Labrie will leave if we don't get Europe? It would be very harsh. I don't think so. I think he's bought into the whole long-term plan, but who knows if he's offered a place at somewhere like Chelsea. Evening, all looking forward to another great show, says John. I don't know what these are. I think I'm just picking random ones. What a goal by Rigg. Still don't think he's a winger, but we can't really drop him now. We just need to find his best position. Yeah, definitely. Maybe up front.
I will say on Villa's second goal, you could tell Rigg wasn't a winger because he didn't track the left back. And that was the little 1-2 that sort of got them around. But it was slack defending in the middle anyway. Alderete was over where 09 wasn't, and 09 realised he'd been caught out completely and just had to throw himself in the direction of it. So it was poor defending overall for that second goal, really.
It was 09's poorest game yet in the Premier League for me. I think we have to start with two up front against Forest. Brobbey and Isidore, we can push for a European place. The music to Conrad's ears. Wasn't Connor Wickham younger?
No, I don't think so. Not for us. For Ipswich when he would have scored, yes, but not for us.
Was he not 18 when he scored against? It was against Aston Villa, funny enough, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Hang on.
Now you've got me googling in the 2-2.
Yes,
when Sessegnon scored a header and out jumped Richard Dunn.
Yeah, which was very weird. So 31st of March 1993 was when Conor Wickham was born. So
93. Okay.
I think he was 18. So it's a technical. But yeah, hang on, because he signed for us in 2011, didn't he, Conor Wickham? That was what he was one of the first signings of that infamous Steve Bruce's last window for us. So
anyone new here, this is normal. We have a show and then the tangent just goes everywhere.
Yeah.
So when was he born again? Sorry.
31st of March 1993, according to Wikipedia, which I know is not the most reliable, but that's the information I've got. While Conrad's searching for that, I'll just quickly say something on Rigg, though. I think it was SJ3000's comment that Mike put up earlier, where, yes, I agree with Mike in the sense that, obviously Conrad in the sense that for Villa's second goal, you can tell Rigg wasn't a winger in that strict sense. But I think that the right wing spot is Chris Riggs for the rest of the season. I think there's no reason not to sort of put him there, unless, of course, injuries or suspensions dictate otherwise. I think that, and even look, say forget Europe for a second, whether we get it or not, right? At least use the rest of the season to get Chris Rigg more, adapt more to Premier League level, have him bulk out a little bit, have him get used to the athleticism and physicality and speed and pace of the Premier League. So even then, with playing him, we're still going to gain something from it. And yes, I agree with what SJ said. We need to find his best position, but we also have to remember that, and something that we probably forgot about, and I'd forgotten about, we need to make sure we have a certain number of players for the English to fill our English quota. So there's a reason that, it makes no sense. It makes complete sense to just keep developing Rigg. And therefore he's part of the first team squad. And next season, with it being, having he's got a bit of time to get used to the Premier League, I think he could get even better. And actually, if you're looking at if you're in Europe one way or another, whether it's the Europa or a Conference League, Rigg is going to get minutes. Even if he doesn't start in the Premier League, he will get minutes and will have opportunities to get better on a bigger scale.
I found it. Yeah. So, Chris Rigg, yes, he is the third youngest Sunderland player to ever score in the Premier League for us, which I believe is what you said, Mike. Yep. Conor Wickham is the second youngest ever player to score for us in the Premier League. He beat Chris Rigg by 3 months, essentially. But there is a player who beat Conor Wickham by 3 months as well. Can anyone name who that is? Now, I will tell you, it is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far... No, it's not. It was definitely in this galaxy.
I don't know, Jordan Henderson?
Even earlier. Mike, it's before even my period of support, not supporting, remembering Sunderland stuff. It's before then. So if the Premier League only started in 92... yeah.
No, I have no idea.
He's got the same first name as you two.
Michael
Bridges. Michael Proctor? I don't know.
Michael Bridges.
I said Bridges. I said it can't be Bridges.
It can be Bridges.
It can be Bridges. Yeah. Is it really? Oh, nice.
Bridges.
There you go. Owen Sarah says Michael Bridges. Dean says Bridges. And SJ 30,000 says before dinosaurs.
And then after that, you're talking Anthony Stokes, Jordan Henderson, Julio Walker, 19 years old.
Right, let's reel everyone back in. We're still on the Villa game.
Everyone remembers that
Come
name.
Come back doing the whole thing where he's determined to talk about anything but the Villa game.
Come and sit back down. Come and sit back down at the table. This must be talked about.
I want to have a good chat about Diarra later on. So that's
right. So, second half, Sunderland. It's got to be the performance. So we come out second half, 48 minutes, bang, 3-1. Did you consider leaving the stadium at that point, Michael?
Oh no, I don't know. Absolutely not. I was one that was going to be staying till. Yeah, I think if we'd gone 4-1 and 5-1 down, I might have considered it. But nah, I mean, I wasn't. I think mostly away and actually was pretty much staying until right before the second Sunderland goal. But yeah, that third one, that's the one of the four that, although I wasn't impressed with it from Sunderland's point of view, it's a very well worked counter attack from Villa. Reynaldo was weak as piss in the build-up to it. I think it was John McGinn who dispossessed him. And I will say, by the way, to give balance for Aston Villa, I thought Ollie Watkins and John McGinn were outstanding for Villa. I thought both of them really dictated. I thought Watkins obviously gave Luke O'Nien a torrid time, as well as Alderete. And McGinn, for me, ran the show in the middle of the park. And you can tell the quality and level of experience that they've got. But anyway, no, McGinn
I think Maatsen had pretty much a really good game for them before he was taken off.
Yeah, I think so as well. But this is what I mean. You're up against a team that's like, what is it? I think I calculated it was their sixth. This is their sixth straight season in the Premier League since they got promoted in 2019. So they've had time to develop this sort of good core squad that's competing on all fronts in Europe and managing the fixture congestion because they've got the quality to do so. But anyway, no, I think that McGinn did well to feed through, who was it? It might have been feed through Watkins, I think, who then fed through Morgan Rogers. And actually, it's not a bad finish either. So at 3-1, I kind of thought, that's probably game. Although you can never rule anything out completely, I thought it's an uphill battle from here. You know, when you're 3-1 down at Villa Park against a team that as good as they are. And I actually thought, in general, across the second half, I didn't think Sunderland played that well. Not because we weren't putting effort in or anything like that. I just think we just couldn't get the grip. I think Villa were quite good at just taking the sting out of the game and managing it with their experience and just making it uncomfortable for us. And I'll say this, I want to know what Mike thinks in particular since he watched the game. Well, I'm assuming he watched it if he did a live stream. But I would say that when Villa broke on us, they looked deadly. I thought whenever they broke on us, I thought, shit, we're in trouble. We are in trouble here. Every time they went forward, I thought Watkins had the athleticism and speed. I thought that who was right winger for them when before Buendia came on. I can't remember who it was, but yeah.
Would you agree with me that if Ballard and Hume had started that game, it was a different game because they showed up our defence so much. And there was so many of their opportunities that Ballard is the man that gets there and reads that incoming pass and stuff like that was missed. If Ballard starts that game, that's a 3-1 win to us, in my opinion.
I think Ballard, you could make a case for that. I think that Mukiele, I thought in general did well. I thought in patches at least didn't play too badly, really, but I get your point. I think Ballard certainly. Hey, Joel, how you doing, my friend? Lovely to see you there. I'd say for Ballard, yeah, I think there's a good argument for that. And I love Luke O'Nien a bit. Don't get me wrong, but you can tell he's just that's the most Luke O'Nien's been ran ragged this season. I think it's fair to say, and just generally defensively as well. So yeah, I think you can make an argument for that. If I was to counter it, maybe I would argue is because Villa probably to some extent took their foot off the gas and just were happy to sit on 3-1. As long as they were compact, which obviously I know nearly cost them doing that. But generally in the second half, I thought they were reasonably comfortable until we scored the second goal. Even though I think we had Lafay and Robbie each had a shot, but there were ones that you would expect Martinez to deal with, I would think.
I mean, I've been Reynildo's biggest fan this season. I've sung his praises, and the fact we got him on a free is an absolute unreal one. He's not come back after, recently as well as he went before, like AFCON and stuff like that. And I think Hume outshone him completely. Hume coming on made a massive difference for me. Ballard on there made a difference. O'Nien was definitely way off the pace. I think we had the wrong starting lineup. And I get the whole, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. But when you can shore up your defence against a team like this, especially away with our away record, I think Labrie should have took that opportunity. I think he started the wrong defence. What's your thoughts, Conrad? Sorry, go on.
So I'll just quickly say, to be fair and to kind of sort of credit what you're saying a bit more, it's one thing playing Tottenham at home who are out of sorts completely. It's another going to Villa who are a top 5 team at Villa Park. So I can completely get your argument there.
Conrad, did he start the wrong team?
I think he was being loyal to the team that sort of got a result against Spurs. It's pretty much would have been the back line against Newcastle had Mukiele been fit, really. And Reynildo as well. They would have both started the derby instead of Getrada and Hume at that point, you would have thought. So he's probably trying to keep, something with it. And that team had pretty much won 3 out of the last 4, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So I think he was sort of rewarding them. And because we're safe, he can take that risk of playing, O'Nien in there as well and having a bit of, one who, will give you heart, but maybe not the quality. But he had a torrid afternoon against Ollie Watkins, didn't he? And Alderete didn't have a much better sort of faring against him, really. Just, the rest of it, I think it's just, we're not going through the motions per se, because the fight at the end of that second half shows that we weren't doing that there. There was just lots of lapses in concentration or even just basic sort of decision making at key points, i.e. 2 minutes into the game and 2 minutes into the second half. like say, Bowers, that third goal from them, you can't really take much away from them. It's really well worked, but it is a bit slack from us to just be like, we're all over the shop really when they're passing it through us. We sort of give them that sort of opportunity to. The fourth one, again, I think we've switched off a bit at that point. I mean, we'll come to it in a minute, but I think we switched off thinking hard work's done, and
I mean, I think the fourth one doesn't happen without our failed
Diarra, sorry.
Yeah. Our failed fourth one. I think it was the direct counterattack from that, and players disheartened and like, oh my God, how did that even happen?
Well, I've got quite a bit to say on that. There you go.
So, okay, here's a question for you then, Michael. 48 minutes, they go 3-1 up. We're losing 3-1 away to Villa. You then wait till 64 minutes to start making changes. Is that too late? Should he have reacted sooner with subs and changes?
I suppose you could argue the fact we got to 3-3 would suggest it wasn't too late. But obviously, again, that's because it was a mental.
But he made the subs. We made the subs. Then we got to 3-3. Like, would we have had more time to do that? Is my question, I guess.
No, I get that. But that, look, like I said, I think you can't begrudge the fact that Brees has generally done a great job. And I think quickly on that sort of talk about. Actually, what's it? I think the first two goals still go on Ballard on the pitch. Watkins is a class striker who ran 09 ragged. The build-ups of the goals were defensively more criminal than 09 and 09 losing Watkins. I think on the first one, I disagree because I think that, well, unless it's just pure communication from 09 and all the rest, because there's no way Watkins should have a free header at the back post, really. But I do take Joel's point, though, to be fair. We do have to remember that, Villa are a good team, obviously. So, but having said that, I do think that, I think in terms of the change, look, I'll quickly on the TalkSport thing about Brees, because it's kind of relevant for me. I think that, one, it's TalkSport who's saying that. I think we need to remember that. And two, I think if you're looking at Brees, I think that generally he's done a good, solid, at minimum 9 out of 10 job. He's got us up through competing against parachute payment sides. I've said this before, but we were competing against parachute payment sides last year when the standard at the top was much better than it has been this season. Got us promoted, and then we're just competitive in the Premier League when promoted clubs recently have struggled. Having said that, I think that it is annoying because it's the one thing that does annoy me about Brees is sometimes his reactiveness in terms of making changes. That's the only thing that does annoy me sometimes about him. And I get it. Sometimes it's just being cool, calm, collected, whatever. But I just think sometimes he waits too long to try and impact things. And like he's got more. Don't get us wrong. Tactically, he's obviously got more right than wrong. I think it'd be foolish to argue otherwise. But it's still sometimes it just annoys me when he is like that. So yeah, I think in terms of making changes, Mike, I think you've got a fair point to ask that question. I thought personally, and to be fair, he did make his yeah, exactly. So 11th in the Prem with a good shout of Europe, very genuinely, and we're definitely safe one way or another. So when particularly we got Brobby off and Isidore came on, it felt like that was almost admittance of defeat there, just because I felt like we thought, right, let's save Brobby for Friday night. And because obviously Isidore, I mean, but fair play Isidore, though he scores a fantastic goal, fantastic run and finish. So, but yeah, in terms of the changes, yes, I would have probably... Brees is often doing that, where he makes things a bit too late for my liking sometimes. Yeah.
Isidore's goal, I mean, we'll talk about that flurry of goals because 3-1 down up until like the 87th minute.
Yeah.
Hume, substitute, scores. Isidore, substitute, scores. So, good changes, but I was so happy with the Isidore goal. And I know that me and Conrad have joked where I've gone Meander and he's gone Isidore and stuff like that. But I really feel like if he could find his form again, if he could get that confidence up, we saw what he can do internationally, then he could still play a big part to this team. So I was really happy to see that goal, and it looked like it gave him confidence when it happened. And I mean, anyone watching my commentary, I was still celebrating the first goal as the second goal was going in. It was absolutely insane. Michael, what was it like there?
Well, when the second one went in, I actually turned to the person next to me and said, if only we'd scored that 20 minutes earlier, then we could have had a chance of getting something. And then, of course, about a minute later, we equalised, don't we? So, be fair, the second goal was very good pressing from Sunderland. Trey Hume in particular, and I think it was Enzo Lafay as well. Did Lafay stay on or did he get taken off?
Lafay got the assist for the third.
Of course he would have done. Never mind, ignore me. Yeah,
And
Lafay
he would have had another assist had a certain somebody not. Yeah.
Well, we can debate this in a bit, but yeah, for me, Lafay and Hume did very good in terms of pressing, and Hume showed the right amount of aggression and spatial, awareness in order to be able to beat Villa's back line. And it was a good goal actually from a fullback as well. Really, really good finish, and that's a good moment for Hume actually, where he gets a goal himself, and obviously he was signed in the League One days, wasn't he? So that was great to see. Of course, but then you've got to credit Lafay. That through ball to Isidore is fantastic. And again, to be consistent both ways, what Villa are doing defensively for Sunderland's third, I don't know. But when Isidore was running through, I was literally anywhere and shouting, please, 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 please. And then, of course, it was absolute bedlam when the ball hit the back of the net. I can only imagine how it must have been for Conrad if he wasn't able to watch it. And then he finds out it's 3-3 from 3-1 down.
Was your only gauge my reaction, Conrad?
Because the derby was on, the Everton one, I had your commentary on, but I was sort of like half looking up at the football match and sort of half looking down. And I saw the thing come up on my phone saying Hume, and I was like, oh, it must be 3-2. So I went on Sky and it said 3-2, and then it came up on the put in the bottom corner of the game you're watching on Sky, and I went, oh, there it is. And then I looked down to my phone and I just see you going. And I'm like, you're really excited for like a 3-2. I don't and then so I went back on Sky and it just popped up, and I was speaking to a couple of people around me. I went, it's 3-3, and they were all like, oh, is it? Get it? And then Catherine, my partner, was like, she went, oh, is that you happy then? I went, no, I'm more nervous now. We've got something to lose, and I was fucking right. You should be more relieved.
You should have been a lot less nervous when we went 4-3 down.
Like as soon as we got something at the back end, I was like, "Oh no! Now we've got something to lose." And then the tweet came up about Diarra. It said something like Diarra misses a 1v1 or something. I was like, "Oh my!" And I even said, "Oh, we could have won." And the next one just said Villa lead 4-3, and I was like, "What is happening in this game? This sounds like the most mental 5-10 minute period."
It was the most insane last 5-10 minutes we've had. I think out of all our games, even when we come back against Bournemouth, it was over a period of time. You know what I mean?
It made me so happy that we're not in the relegation fight at all. Because can you imagine if we'd have say if that's Spurs and they'd have got themselves back to 3-3, and it's like, what a point! This is massive in their they've conceded.
Okay.
Leeds to be closed.
Of course,
it's irrelevant. Spurs are going down.
Let's talk through that one, because I thought it was going to be 4-3 to us. It looked a sure thing. He was through, and he tried the dink. I mean, at the time, I'm like, play the easy FIFA pass. Anyone who's played FIFA, old FIFA,
sweaty goal.
If you're playing FIFA clubs and your mate's running next to you like that, and the keeper's coming to you, and you don't pass it, you best be sure you damn well score it, because it's an easy goal. And I'm sure was it Talby running next to him? It was Talby, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure Talby was fuming at him, and I'm sure he's kicking himself, so he probably doesn't need us to kick him too much. The feeling Conrad's going to, though.
Funny you mentioned that. Just beforehand, I think I'll put on, where is it? I might have taken it off on here. I don't have I thought I put an image on there, but basically it said after the game that Diarra stood up and apologised to the dressing room about the result, saying I think he took responsibility for it, which I think it's a big thing for him if that is the case. They haven't come out and said definitely that's happened, or I think Debris might have said it happened. So it's good on him that he noticed that there. He still should have scored, but I'm in the. Do you remember Port Vale? He went through in a similar sort of one-on-one and tried to lob over the keeper and just put it out miles for a goal kick at that point there as well. And I know if we look back, and even in a game we won, his penalty against Leeds was atrocious, if we're looking back at it really, and it somehow managed to go past the keeper there. I'm not convinced on Diarra yet.
I was more convinced in the first few games after he came back from AFCON, he looked like he was playing at a different level. Before he went away, I was like, not saying he's terrible or anything like that. I do like the guy, and I think he's got so much potential. But compared to his price tag and compared to the other players we signed around that bracket, he looked closer to a Dingra than Siddiqui. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I was getting. Then he came back after AFCON, and I thought, oh, he's firing on all cylinders. He's making runs. He's going. He's playing with confidence. It's good. And that's petered. I don't know if that's because he had to give the medal to Talby, but that's petered off as well.
Probably. I just think he's suffering from a bit at the minute where he doesn't quite have a settled position or a role in this team. I think half the time we're asking him to play up the top, then he's playing as a number 8, and then we're pushing him a bit out on the right. And, we've all said Enzo's had moments like that where it's like, well, he doesn't play up there. He needs a consistent run over here. And whereas you think of Siddiqui and Granit, they're just locked in their positions and their roles and they know what they're doing. And it's just week in, week out. Having watched it at first, I was like, why has he tried that? And then when I've watched it back a few times, I'm a bit like, even if he'd have tried to pass it round Martinez and he'd have saved it, or if he'd have just shot and it hit him straight at him, it's the same result at that moment there. It's more the fact, I just think you should have scored it. I'm not bothered that you went for the dink. That's less annoying than Enzo's Panenka at Brentford, where you've got a free shot at the keeper. He's seen the keeper going down and he thinks, this is my, chance to go. And it is a great save, really, when you actually look at how quickly he sort of springs up to reach it there. He doesn't turn around to see that Talby's sort of just there. And I think there's one angle where you sort of see it. It doesn't look like Talby's shouting. He might have done. I don't know. Like the camera cuts quickly. But if it was me, I'd be going like, pass it! Like just square it or something. Just, Unfortunately, it's the fine margins of the Premier League. You make one mistake and it can come back.
It is, and if that dink had paid off, we'd all be singing his praises. And it was a complete percentage chance of the keeper getting his hand into that exact spot to stop that. So fair play to the keeper for doing so. I don't think he did anything terribly wrong. It wasn't like an impossible dink to go for, if you know what I mean.
And he didn't
it wasn't
miss.
ridiculous.
It's not like he dinked it over the bar or
he didn't sky or anything like that. I think he did the right things. It was just he didn't. Maybe he didn't see the pass. He didn't notice the pass.
Yeah.
A few people commented on this. Owen says, the fact Diarra is our record signing, people have unrealistic expectations. There is definitely a player there, though.
Completely agree with that.
SJ says his price tag is like an anchor for him. But like we paid 9 million for Gordon, everyone expected him to save every single goal because of the price. This is the curse of football with high-priced players. Remember when Pogba was first signed at United? That was a ridiculous amount of money.
Signed at United.
Yeah, and it was just you're never going to be able to live up to that, like for them kind of goals and stuff like that.
I think I expected more of him so far this season as an overall. And yes, the injury comes into it, and the few games that he missed as well due to AFCON. I had a look the other day, and him and Talby have played almost the same amount of minutes as each other throughout this season, which is impressive when you consider that Diarra was actually out from game week 4 till game week, 15, 16, whenever the middle of the season was there. And then obviously went away. I think Talby has 100 more minutes than him. And when you then add in Talby's goals and his assists and the sort of moments that he's had with us this season, you sort of go, well, that's a more fair comparison to look at it rather than me sort of saying, well, Enzo Lefebvre does this. And it's like, yeah, well, Enzo Lefebvre's played twice as many games as him and been a sort of ever present throughout this team and knows Labrie a bit more and gets the system. So, it's... I do think there's a player there. I'm not sure where we find the best out of him, if you get me, like at the moment. Like I think there is a player in there, we just haven't found him.
We have got to remember that most of this team, it's their first season together. Yeah. Most of this team, it's a brand new team first season together. They've gelled so well compared to like how long it could genuinely take. Right, let's close this one off. I don't think they score if we don't miss that, because Diarra's down, head in his hands. Talby's gutted and frustrated. not as many people tracking back. Villa vicious on the counter-attack, absolutely ruthless to still be going for it at that time. So hats off to them for that fighting spirit to get that last goal. But I don't think they get it if we don't miss. It's as simple as that. Michael Bowers, let's put this to bed. Final thoughts on this game and the last goal for them?
Put it this way. For me, when anyone has said that they blame Diarra for us conceding that fourth goal, I strongly disagree with that. Because for me, I agree that Diarra should have scored. I think on Diarra, I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. There's a reason why, if you're wanting him to come in and deliver straight away for the Premier League, he will cost you 60 million. Simple as that. There's a reason that he costs 30, because a lot of these players, it's the same with Talby costing 20, it's the same with Robbie costing 20. These guys need a bedding in period for the Premier League. And I don't think it's an excuse for them. I think it's a simple fact. As for this one, yes, I agree that I think Diarra should be scoring. I was fuming that he tried to dink that. I was more annoyed he didn't pass, to be totally honest. But I just don't know how you have to... Just because that was missed doesn't mean you then have to let the fourth one in. Talby didn't come out...
There's a little bit of me that I don't know if it's the angle. I've seen it a few times. There's a bit of me that's like, why didn't Ballard go for the ball before it bounced? Like, do you know what I mean? Before it got to the sort of thing in there. And I don't know if it's just out of his reach and he realizes that. But then Abraham, does a great bit of play where he gets between two defenders and just little glance on it and it's past Roos before he has a chance to react. But that cross reminded me of, when we conceded to Fulham away earlier on in the season, where this big floating ball comes in and no one quite commits to getting rid of it and it costs us. I think, isn't that how Bournemouth equalised against us?
Conrad.
How Bournemouth equalised against us down at the Vitality as well. It was like a big swinging cross from the left-hand side that sort of not one of the defenders put a name on, and then we can see. So maybe it's a bit of a weak spot of ours, because if you think the second goal came that side as well, but granted it wasn't a big cross like that, but I don't know, that there was plenty of opportunities to stop the cross, to get to the cross first, and then to get across your man first as well, and it just felt like dominoes, everyone was falling, and it just, Diarra is the least to blame for that goal, if you ask me. I can still be very annoyed that he didn't score.
Well, both can be true, can't they? Like, I'm annoyed that Diarra didn't score. Put it this way, he
frustrated, not annoyed, frustrated.
Yeah, well, okay, frustrated then. Okay, here's the way I put it. Diarra probably cost us 2 points, but the rest of the team cost us 1. That's the best way I can put it. For me, the rest of the team have to take responsibility for not stopping Villa scoring the fourth one. I think that Talby was too late to close out the ball. And to be fair, from Dingu's point of view, it's actually a really good ball into the box. But I think that Talby was just a second too late to stop it. And then I think Abraham probably gets just ahead of 09 and then sort of just kind of toe pokes it really past Robin Roofs. So, yeah, I think I was in the away end. I was furious when that went in, because I think over the course of the second half, I personally felt Villa still deserved to win. But it was more, you don't go to 3-3 and then lose it. Like, if you put all that effort in to make it get to 3-3, make damn sure you come away with a 3-3 and don't concede on again. But look, in fairness, like I said before, I think in our last 6 games, the way I looked at it before this game, obviously it was 6 left, I felt we were going to lose one at some point. And I feel like away at Villa, I don't think it's egregious to lose this game. I don't think it's not a good result for us, but it's not one where I was despondent. It's not like if we've lost to Burnley 4-3, I would have been quite annoyed at that, because I think, well, no, Burnley are crap. And as of tonight, they're going to get relegated. So, I was pretty angry when we lost to Burnley. Whereas with Villa, although the manner of it was infuriating, you've got to give respect to Villa. They're a very, very good team. And I think Villa are going to be a tough game for anyone that goes to, when most teams go to Villa Park. If you want to look at it in this context, and then this doesn't mean that we can accept this result just because this happened, but Man City and Arsenal both lost away at Aston Villa this season.
No, I don't hate Diarra.
Well, we all need to effing grow up.
I heard that Wayne hates Diarra and 09 in
go give him shit instead.
Crazy, yeah.
I mean,
comment on his next video as if you hate Diarra and said you want to sell him for £1.50.
I think this was the bogey game anyway. We've got a nice 15 points queued up for us now. So 15 points more by the end of the season. So it's going to be a nice end to the season either way. Doing the double over Chelsea on the last day, it's always going to be nice. So yeah, Conrad, have you got anything for us?
I do, yes. It's a sort of simpler one here, but I have 25 players in front of me. Guess them all. No, that's not the game. That would just be ridiculous. But they have 25 players that have both played for Sunderland and Nottingham Forest, because on Friday, of course, we're playing Nottingham Forest. So you can get them in the comments as well, Mike, if you want to be in charge of reading those out as well. And then I'll tick them off as you go. So
how many players have we got in for this list?
25.
Okay.
25? Is there really that many? Are you going back to like 1806?
No, I think the earliest one that I can see on here played for Nottingham Forest in 99. There is a 93 there. So there may have been earlier on than that, but I think it starts at like 93. It starts like Premiership era.
Right, okay, let's get the chat first. Callback, Andy Reid, Brian Clough, and Danny Collins.
Brian Clough's
Lewis
not
Grabban.
on the list. That's probably one
Lewis
from
Grabban,
before. So,
one.
yeah.
No place was cool.
So Andy Reid, yes.
Your favourite goalkeeper?
Lewis Grabban, yes. Callback,
Lee
yeah.
Camp.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Camp,
Lee Camp, yeah.
Wow.
And Chopra.
Chopra, yeah. So that's 5, yeah.
Wow. How many have we named so far?
Not Clough, what am I
5.
saying?
5. Okay.
Didn't Bentner go there like 5 years after us?
Yes,
Well
he
done.
did.
Nicholas Bentner.
Yes,
Well
Bentner,
done. Yes,
yeah.
Nick. Yeah.
Didn't he score twice against Newcastle the year Newcastle won the championship under Rafa Benitez?
Well, if he did, that was his only 2 goals that season. So what a legend that would be.
It's players like that I can remember because, well, like a family friend used to be a Forest fan, and I used to constantly go, he used to be one of us. He used to be one of ours. I think, shit. I'm thinking of someone else.
Oh, no, Bentner scored 1 against Newcastle. Jamal Lascelles scored an own goal winner. But Bentner's still a legend for that.
Did we get Birdcut?
Bridcut.
You mean?
Yeah, Birdcut, same thing.
Birdcut,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Birdcut.
Yeah. 7, yep. You're on 7 out of 25.
I mean, I don't think we're going to get all 25. We'll be here all night. You should have given us...
to get all 25 for us to finish the show.
Andy Cole was just before us. The season after us. He went from us to them, didn't he?
Yes, after he came to us for that short period, yes, he went to Nottingham Forest the year after. Yeah.
Jimmy Montgomery, says Leslie.
It's not on this list, so probably too early.
Neil Martin, the late 60s. No. Ian Bauer.
No.
And Vaughan.
Get 90s onwards. Yeah, James or David Vaughan.
I was going to say,
Vaughan, no James.
Vaughan, surely.
Yeah.
So how many we got now?
9.
9 out of 25. Oh, good Lord.
Okay. So there is another goalkeeper.
Pantilmon.
Very good. That was the one I was
going
to
to
say.
Favourites.
Yep, that's 10.
Yep.
So in terms of forward players, I'll say in terms of actual strikers, you've still got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you've still got 3 strikers there that have played for both of them. So if we go for that, like by position, then so strikers, if you think of those.
Did we get Andy Reid?
You've got Andy Reid, yeah, he's all done.
Got Andy Reid, yeah. Trying to think. I really can't think.
I was going to say, I'm thinking, I've got there. Epping hit it, you fat. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
That just entered my head for some reason. Okay.
Stern John,
yeah, that's 1. One of the strikers, bad memories of playing for Sunderland. I think he was only here for about 6 months as a Sunderland player.
I don't know. Ashley Fletcher?
In the 15-point season in 05-06. has a surname the same as our famous left back.
Oh, Andy Gray.
Andy Gray, there you go. Yeah. And the other striker, he played for us. He also played in that season as well, but when he got relegated, he became one of Roy Keane's favoured strikers in the Championship for us. Wand of a left foot. Did go on to play for Newcastle as well at one point, but was a bit of a Championship goal scorer at all levels, at all times he was in there. Never quite hit the heights in the Premier League.
Danny Murphy?
Murphy, there you go.
Daryl, not
Murphy.
Danny. Yeah.
Daryl, why am I saying Danny Murphy? Oh, I'm thinking of the match of the day pundit here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Barry Arker. Says Jimmy Paddy. David Cowley.
Bournemouth have
Out of interest, Conrad, is there anyone there that played for us in the League One days that has also played for Forest?
1, 2.
So between 2018 and 2022, basically.
Can you read out who we've got?
Yep, you've got Bentner, Bridcut, Camp, Chopra. You've got Andy Cole. You've got Lewis Graben, Andy Gray, Stern John, Daryl Murphy, Costel Pantilimon, Andy Reid, David Vaughan. Actually, there's another goalkeeper there I've just noticed. Replaced Ben Anick in a promotion season.
Colback.
That's not a goalkeeper, but Colback is on the list.
That's your Newcastle one, isn't it? That's your Newcastle reference.
No, because Daryl Murphy played for Newcastle as well.
Right.
Okay. So how many we got? I mean, we've got 13 then, or have I calculated that wrong?
You were counting.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I was just...
Yeah. You're just over halfway.
I thought we already mentioned Colback. That's why I'm asking.
The Ginger Ninja.
The Ginger
Marriott was the other keeper.
Andy Marriott was, if he was a goalkeeper as well, then yep, he's there. But that's not the keeper I thought. I didn't know he was a goalkeeper.
I'm sure Marriott was a keeper, wasn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's 92, 90. He was 92 for Forest, and he was 98, 99 for Sunderland. So that's before my time. One more keeper. Come on, in the year. What year does that say? Yeah, he was bought as a second fiddle to Ben Anick, and then Roy Keane decided he didn't like Ben Anick for video reasons, and then replaced him with this goalkeeper who was absolutely class and never let Ben Anick get back in.
Full up. Everyone's saying full up.
It's not full up.
No.
God rest his
He was the one who kept full up out the team at that point until
Nicholas Bentner. We've already got there, Emma. I think.
If you get admitted to hospital, you're put on a hospital.
Keepers.
If you get admitted to hospital, you're put on a. Don't say drip.
Fucking NHS waiting list.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Darren NHS waiting list. You are correct.
What, Darren Ward? Fucking
Darren Ward. Well done.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Can you see what I'm trying to do there? I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's
you
two
never get put on an award.
I'll let you get that. I'll get you go those two, and then we'll call it.
Two from the League One days.
Yeah, we have one in the first. Well, he didn't play in League One for us, but he is very synonymous with us in League One.
We've done Grabbing, haven't we?
Yeah, Grabbing was Championship. Yeah.
Hang on. So you're saying he didn't play? Did he play? Hang on. So he didn't play for us in the League One days. Did he play against us in the League One days?
He did.
Why have I got a feeling this is going to be a completely random guess? Johnny Williams?
It is Johnny Williams, yeah. Johnny Williams.
Oh, okay.
2015, 16 for us, and then played against us in the playoff final and tortured us when he came on.
Nice.
Yeah, for Charlton, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
The only other two I can think of is Greg Halford and...
yeah, he's there.
Did we have Danny Collins?
We haven't said Danny Collins, but he is there as well.
That's me. I'm spent. That's my Forest knowledge.
Definitely spent me.
So the other one for Sunderland, he only played in the season in the build-up to COVID for us, centre half.
So it was what's his name?
William
Number
Gowan.
3. He was a centre back.
Joe Lynch.
Joe Lynch, yeah, that's him.
Thomas Meyer.
God, the PTSD is real, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So I'll read them all out.
We've had I can't believe that. I mean, usually when we do these, there's like 5 or 6. There's a lot of players.
I know. All right, I'll read them all out. So it's Bentner, Bridcut, Camp, Chopra, Colback, Andy Cole, Danny Collins. You didn't get Colin Cooper. Lewis Graben, Andy Gray, Greg Halford. You didn't get Danny Higginbotham. You didn't get Alan Hutton. Stern John, Lewis Lang.
Lewis Lang. Like
Joe
one
Lynch.
Game.
Yeah, Andy Marriott. You didn't get Andy Melville. Played for Sunderland for a long time. Daryl Murphy, Costel Pantilimon, Andy Reid. You didn't get Nicky Summerby.
Oh, I didn't know he was at Forest. To be fair.
Yeah, David Vaughan, Darren Ward, and Johnny Williams.
Nice.
Wow.
That's unreal that there's 25. I bet there's more as well if you go deeper into history.
There's probably more before then as well. I like that though. Darren Bandage, Darren William Gown, Darren Cast. All of them.
At least it wasn't Darren Catheter. Bournemouth 2, Leeds 1.
It's 3-1 now, actually.
Oh, 3-1 now.
Well,
Jimmy Paddy
3-1, but
says.
apparently they're checking the VAR for the third goal. So
I'm going to say Jimmy Paddy's quicker than Google if that's the case. Right. Next game, next fixture.
Friday night.
So, I think we're getting 15 points from the next. I'll be conservative. I think we're getting 12 points from the next 5 games.
It is 2-1.
You can ask me where the loss is.
I don't know. Man United, I'm guessing?
Everton.
You think we're going to lose to Everton?
Everton away. It's the kind of bogey game that we'll lose.
No,
I think we'll beat United at home. We owe them 1.
We'll beat all the rest.
We'll beat.
Not lose to Wolves away because I'm going to it.
Yeah, we'll lose to Wolves away. We'll win all the rest. That'd be typical.
Anyway,
us.
it's Forest. What time are you in? Look, let me have a quick look.
I can tell you,
16th, aren't they?
They're 16th,
16th, but they've won 2 out of the last 3.
They've only lost 1 in 5, if I'm right.
Yeah. They smashed Spurs up 3-0 a few games
like
ago.
a draw. They like a draw.
Keeps them up this season.
Spurs and Burnley's the last 2 wins, so it's not really a lot to go by. I think we can beat Forest. I think we need to set up different. I think we need to have Ballard starting. I think O'Nine's had his Premier League time now. That's enough. Get back to coaching. And I think Talby possibly starts. He needs to get a start in. And someone said go 4-4-2 and have Isidore and Brobby. I would love to see that, but he's not going to do it. Conrad, going into this one, the lineups, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's time to, if Ballard's all right, I think we put him back in for 09 and we just go back to our settled sort of back 4 of Nordi, Ballard, Alderete and Reynildo, which saw us do so well at the start of the season. The midfield probably picks itself. I do think we probably end up sticking with Diarra in that midfield. Can't drop Enzo really, and I don't think you drop Rigg at this point either. So I think he keeps very similar sort of team.
Talby stays on the bench.
Unfortunately, I love Talby. I don't think he mixes it up and goes 2 strikers. I don't think I've ever seen him play 2 strikers in his life. So, especially as Sunderland manager, so I really don't think he's going to just go, do you know what? Forest at home, let's go 2 up top. Like,
you'd love it though. Can you imagine? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
To see.
Imagine if what we all said that time, if we just went, what, he's playing Brobby, Mayenda and Isidore? Like, all 3? Like, what the actual
That is definitely not like regular breeze.
He may do that at some point, but that would be Mayenda on the right and Isidore on the left wing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's far back. It was wing backs, not even actual forwards. Yeah. I'd like nothing more than to see them sort of play together, because I actually think the way that Brobby could hold the ball up and Isidore sort of spins in off behind him, it sort of feeds into Brobby, holds it up and plays quick balls through. It sort of seems like it could work, but it's who do you drop out of our midfield and who do you lose? Do you lose that stability that the 3 have sort of managed to sort of gain this season as well? So I think he just keeps it same old with what he knows best, which is sort of our counter-attacking sort of solid football. We don't concede many, which is ironic because the last game we conceded 4. But, we didn't set out that way to concede 4. We weren't exactly playing expansive, open football against Villa. It was just we got caught out quite a few times. So I think the only change I could foresee is Ballard for 09 if he's fitting well.
Good stuff.
2-2 Leeds have equalised.
Michael Bowers, your line-up for this one? Any changes?
I mean, but probably the main one would be Ballard. Of course, Leeds have levelled, haven't they?
Yeah.
Still
Is that 40 points for them? They're finally here. Welcome to the 40-point club, Leeds United. And get fucked, Burnley, relegated.
Please let Leeds go down next season. Anyway, for Burnley,
After what that Spurs fan said to you.
Yeah, after Leeds fans have said you've overpaid for Siddiqui, Diarra, and our team's better than yours, and we're bigger than your Nah, can't be bothered with that. Can't be asked with that next season. Saying that, to be fair, if you're looking at the European push, it's probably pretty good for us, to be fair, actually. As long as we take advantage. No, in terms of team changes, I mean, you're probably looking at 09 for taking 09 out for Ballard, really. But then again, obviously, you had Alderete go off. I don't know what the state of it is for Alderete. Is he out? Is he definitely injured? I don't know. So, I mean, if assuming Alderete is out, the logical thing for me would be to put Mukiele and Ballard in the centre-back positions and then put Hume and Reynildo as full-backs. But Lebrice probably won't do that. And I'd imagine...
Or Trader, like he did in the first half of the season, played left centre-back and did really well, and then we just never played him again.
I was going to say, that would require Lebrice actually using him. So, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Sorry. I'm just laughing about it. Just say, as Burnley relegated. Shove you 24 points up your arse. 26
Well, how many points are they behind? Yeah, we're 26 points above them, really. So we're still 2 points better off.
Now.
We're 2 points better off than Burnley.
In a harder league as well, which is so funny. But I think, to answer the question, I think if I was to go with an 11, to sort of, as I'm expecting Mike might ask me for that, I would say probably Roofs. Right, what I think Lebrice will go with, I think it'll be Roofs, Mukiele, 09, Ballard, Reynildo. Then I would say probably the midfield three, same as Xhaka, Siddiqui, Diarra. I know there's a lot of calls for people wanting Diarra dropped, but I think personally you need to stick with Diarra. I want to see him get a good run of games. And I think in the last couple of games, I think he's actually started to look better. And then I would say...
Wayne putting videos out saying drop Diarra. He's uploaded one every single week just saying, message to Reggie Lebree, drop Diarra, I hate him. So
if you drop Diarra now, it'll destroy his confidence.
Well, exactly. So I remember, people would have called for Lafayette to have been dropped after the Brentford Panenka, and he scored in the 2 games in all competitions following that, Everton in the Cup and Crystal Palace. So...
That is SJ. It is all Wayne. Wayne said it.
Absolute. Hi, Wayne.
Wayne sleeping.
How Wayne jumped into bed.
Oh, God. But to be fair, I would say, so you got them 3, and then up front it would probably be Brobby, Talby, Rigg? Or Lafay, Rigg, maybe? I don't know. It's a tricky one, that, because I don't like dropping Talby either, but I think Rigg's been quite good, but I also like Lafay there, so it's a good conversation to have, though.
Head, that's why.
It's it's definitely a good problem to have. Not, oh my God, we're gonna have to play this child from the youth team.
I'm quite confident. I'm quite confident of the goalkeeper back 4 and the midfield 3. I think that's what Lebrice will go with, and I think Brobby obviously will be up top. It's the 2 wide positions that are the ones that I think I'm quite confident Rigg will maintain his place at right wing. Left wing's the big one for me. It's either Lafay or Talby, but it's a fascinating one to try and sort of go with, and especially considering we are at home against the. I mean, Forest still are a decent side as well, by the way. I think their position, it's not false position because they deserve to be down there because their owner's a nut job. But they're a team that should be staying up for me, Forest, with the team that they've actually got. But at home against Forest, you need to, if you're wanting Europe, you need to be winning on Friday night.
No case for Isidore starting?
Thursday. Sorry. Are they playing Villa next Thursday in the UEFA Cup?
Yes. So they play.
I know that's a week. It's almost a week, but will they have one eye on that? Because
that's a hope.
What's your sort of thing? If you were in a relegation battle right now, I know, Mike, you don't like these hypothetical ones here, but if you're Forest at this point, would you take being relegated but to win the UEFA Cup essentially?
No.
I think if you asked their owner that, he'd say no. He'd probably want to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, apparently he has said no. Yeah, Premier League, he said, is more important. But as a player, no one remembers the year you stay up. Everyone remembers you winning a trophy, though.
You listened to Jamie Carragher on Monday Night Football, didn't you?
Oh, did he say that? It's true.
Yeah, he actually said that in Monday Night Football.
Oh, right.
I'm
like Jamie Carragher. That's bad, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Hang your head.
I need to go, look, well,
Gets in
there. Gets over there when he's playing the balls in.
This is a Carragher mic. I've got a spit shield.
What you on about there, mate? Come on, Conrad, mate. To be fair, yeah, I think if you're Forest, you probably, I think if Forest, you take a point here. I think a point is a good result for Forest. Although saying that, Tottenham have got Wolves away, and I know obviously Conrad is leading the "we want Tottenham to go down" camp, but surely Tottenham beat Wolves.
Right, is there any shout for Isidore to start up front over Brobby?
No.
Not for me.
No, that's fine.
I love Wilson, but no.
Just curious. Right, score prediction, Michael.
Oh, it's a tough one, miss.
That's why we asked you.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why you asked me first. Okay, I'll screw it. Then I'll be positive. I think we'll edge it 2-1. Like
2-1?
I said, I think if you're wanting Europe, I'd say this for the next 2 games. If you're wanting Europe, the minimum you need to be getting is 4 points out the next 2. But I would argue probably 6 is needed if you're wanting to really look towards top 6, top 7 or 8.
Conrad?
I think 1-0 us. I think it'll be a closer game than we probably want it to be. Forest will probably come not wanting to lose, but with an eye on next week as well. Gibbs White will be an incredible handful for us. It'd be interesting to see how we sort of deal with that one.
Snap him.
Because
5 minutes.
just rest Gibbs White. He's a massive figure for you next week against Villa. That's a game you really want to win. Just don't take Gibbs White up to the sun same way. Yeah?
Just go in.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0.
He won't want him. He won't want us snapping Gibbs White because he wants Tottenham to go down. So he needs Gibbs White to stay fit to keep Forest up.
Yeah, if we can guarantee that Wolves win, I will let Forest get a point. That's about the level.
1-0's what you're going for, though.
1-0's what I'm going for. And Wayne texted us earlier on saying he's gone for a Desmond 2-2.
A 2-2. I'm going to go back to my old ways.
8-0.
4-1. Sunderland
What happened to
victory.
your finger?
Yeah, I tried to cut it off with a knife.
Okay. That's fair. Thought it was something
4-1.
serious.
Sunderland victory. We found our shooting boots. We found our scoring boots, and the defense will be better because Ballard's in there. It's going to be a good game. Let's get the score predictions. If you can carry on starring them, Conrad, I'll go to the starred section and read out. Starting with John Rosenbreyer, who's gone a 3-0 win to Sunderland. Love the optimism there. SJ 30,000 has gone 2-2. He's gone for a 2-2 as well. Brian Green has gone 2-1 win. 1-0 to the lads, says Owen Sarah. Jimmy Paddy has gone 1-1. Miles of Sunderland has gone 2-1. And Wolsey has gone 5-0. I hope you're right, Wolsey.
He's laid his bollocks right on the table.
Just
If Wolsey is, I will say, Mike will love hearing this. If Wolsey is right, then we will be 7th come 10 o'clock on Friday night.
Lovely jubbly. John W. has gone 3-1 to Sunderland. The Tumney him has gone 2-1. Paul Armstrong has gone Sunderland 2, Forest 1. Leslie's gone for 2-0 to the lads. And Mike going nuts again. Not as nuts as Wolsey, so that's all right.
Can I just say, obviously, to count them in our league table, though, Mike, they will have to put these, of course, on our preview video, which will be coming out tomorrow morning. That is the league table as it stands right now. Kip Vader was the only one who got a score right against Spurs with the 1-0, so he's joined right on at the bottom. So he's got to get every game right to be in with a chance of winning this season, of course. But
got to be in it to win it.
Exactly. Surprisingly, no one had 4-3 Villa. Even a Villa fan that came in said 3-1, and he was right up until the 87th minute. So he would have had to join the leaderboard rather awkwardly. But yeah, the preview video will be out on our channel tomorrow about 7 a.m. I think there. So get your score predictions on there nice and early, and then you're in with a chance of winning.
Awesome. Sean has also gone 2-0 to the lads.
How dare he?
And Jimmy Paddy, Wolsey going ballsy. I like it. I said 5-0 for Villa. Technically, there was 7 goals. I wasn't too far off. Excellent. Well,
Wow.
I think that's it from us. Michael Bowers, what's coming up on your channel this week?
Well, again, probably a live stream over the weekend. Hopefully, reacting to 3 points for Sunderland as we will then get to 7th or 8th, sorry, in the Premier League come 10 o'clock Friday. But yeah, usual stuff. If you could go and hit the subscribe button, if you're watching it on either Only Fools and FCFC or Blackcast TV, then that'd be greatly appreciated. But thanks again for having us on. Been a good chat as always.
Thank you very much. Conrad, what have we got on? Preview tomorrow?
Preview tomorrow. Are you doing a live stream on Friday for the people? Yes. And then probably a review. I'll probably end up doing it late on Friday night because normally I record it in the car on the way back because I've got now better to do than I sit in traffic. However, it will be pitch black. So I'll probably do it when I get home. So we'll do it then instead.
Excellent. So make sure whichever channel you're watching on, I'm going to say Only Fools and SFC. He's not managed to stream it to his, but if you happen to watch it afterwards on there, Only Fools and SAFC, Michael Bowers 541, Blackcats_TV. Make sure you've liked and subscribed and hit the bell, whichever channel you're on. And please take the time out to go along to the other channels and make sure you subscribe to all of them. Wayne's in bed already.
Absolutely, he is.
These give up their time week in, week out to review these games, which is absolutely awesome. So the least we can do is show them some love on their channels as well. And we'll have lots more fun stuff coming next season as well if you keep the likes up. So yes, and don't forget
it's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify. Yes, I'm trying to talk and my face keeps disappearing.
Here's something that'll make you smile just to end it. Remember what happened? Well, funnily enough, that was Visitors fans 1 month ago today in the 90th minute.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, did we? It's on here.
Thoughts and feelings and emotions, lads?
Probably an accurate scoreline of next year, you would say, wasn't it? Maybe 4-1 if you get a consolation.
Conrad?
Nah, not at all. We're going to do it. We're going to get 6 points.
6?
Yeah, easy. Might be
We should get a... Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, I think we'll do it. I think we've got just enough to beat you.
Who's got the last laugh now? Conrad calling it at the start of the season.
Conrad has messaged him and just go, who's laughing now? 6 points.
No, I haven't sent it to him yet, actually. I think he's got a tough enough time as it is at the moment. So when things start to look up for them, that's when I'll drop it back in and go, get back down to earth, you bastard.
Well, you shouldn't have been a delusional prick then, should he?
Exactly.
Excellent. Right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Stay safe, mind the gap, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Midweek Mackems, we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland, everything you know. Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine.